The Courant asks for a pledge I'm bound to remember to all Connecticut voters should they elect me in November. I can make this pledge with one exception. It needs to be stated to earn your election. That I inherit a bureaucracy not adamantly resisting change. An exception or two that we can rearrange. It presumes a referendum issues by issues just in case voters were swooned by my dapper dress, my poetry, my pretty face. So on to another survey. This time take heed. Remember, I'm just following a Connecticut creed. It's you who've pushed for this, and I'm pretty observant. I then hone your demands and act as your public servant. So here goes. A set of questions about the budget. I can make this pledge with that exception on the 100-day level, that the budget is balanced immediately with zero bonding, that there will be no bill approved with deficit spending, no bonding exceeding 15 years. I think that's immoral to put it on some other generation what you want to spend for you. If the General Assembly chooses to spend more, it just then raise taxes. In other words, spending and revenue are inextricably tied. You want to spend 2% more, you automatically taxed everyone 2% more across the board. Will you survive that sort of referendum? That General Assembly is up to you. But it will get paid within the next year. 2% up, there's 2% that has to come back. All right, with General Assembly approval here, our debt service is going to come down. Debt service does nothing for Connecticut citizens. In my realm, 20% of departments get privately funded. 67% of departments get a 10% haircut. The other 13% is debt service. And I suggest that we pay more than what we have to start whittling it down. I'd like to see 130%, not just 100%, of the $2.6 billion obligation. The savings will exceed $4 billion. And that allows a personal income tax cut of as much as 43%. Now, my preference is a little less. Go for 30% in 2019. It's significant. It makes a difference. You want to see more? StewartForLiberty.com/budget. Income taxes, first 100 days. They're going to be reduced immediately. We reduce 30% starting with the year's first payroll. Business owners and contractors, they can withhold 30% of their January earnings. Literally, it takes effect immediately. January 9th is a Wednesday. It's Inauguration Day. I will then speak to the General Assembly imploring that they enact what this campaign has been about and what has gotten me there. January 10th, Thursday, is the first state payroll. If payroll firms can adjust in time, people will see savings starting on January 10th. The first 12 to 16 months was asked of the Courant. The budget looks like this. It's a year's worth of tax returns that can show that the sky's not falling, even with a 30% tax cut. And that the 70% that taxpayers have paid, their contributions are by choice of where to put their money. Now, we're not 100% obligated to go with exclusively their choices, but it's going to give a glimpse of what the voters really want to fund. So the 70% is directed to the department and the services that they see are worthy. I trust the myriad decisions of individuals of where their money should go more than I trust legislators. Legislators may be individually wise, but in a system that does log rolling, in a system that makes political decisions over good and bad at times, I don't think the General Assembly should be responsible for things that voters can assess on their own and fund on their own, some getting more, some getting less. The funding through the state eventually gets intermingled with private funding. The state is going to present a charity smorgasbord. The good things done by the state now that are getting reduced and put into private, along with the things that privately have been funded. One big smorgasbord by the end of 2 years. So we set that up after 16 months. The state will have its thumb on the scale if some programs get dramatically reduced suddenly and we see that causing upheaval. I don't think there'll be that many. It's up to departments to publicize the good work that they do, convince voters of their worthiness. Income taxes in year 2 get reduced another 34% from their 2018 levels. At least for those who gave substantially to charity in 2019. Okay, so year 1, we'd like to see that you've put at least some of that refund back into some new charitable organization. Taxpayers now, after year 1 and 2, have 64% of their tax burden in their pockets. They can choose private and public Connecticut charities to fund. Some, this is beautiful, former state services have actually become charities. They have voluntarily moved their departments to the charitable private side, and they raise more money than previously done. They're under fewer restrictions. They budget the way they want to. They take the talent that they want to. They use the technology that they want to, just like private business. Private business has made the United States tremendous. Government is the impediment. It's been especially stymieing here in Connecticut. This is our way of moving good government services and good employees who enact them into a better system called the free market in charity. Let's adopt it. More about the labor agreements next. I'm Mark Stewart.